Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for Snowfall Season 5, Episode 2, Commitment. So 11 months ago in DC, Reed is meeting with his old colleague, and he had followed him to the bar, and so they're meeting up. Reed says he wants back in the CIA. He wants his job back. He says I got some information. I've been talking to my old informants, my old assets. And so I got tea on the 7 Americans that are being held hostage over there. They're still, they still got the war going on. And so he says that he has information. I guess things have slowed down in Nicaragua. Where they was at. I can't say Nicaragua. Nicaragua. I can't say it. It sounds really ridiculous coming out of my mouth. But anyway, y'all know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. The guy, the colleague, has to remind him that, you have a family, you have a wife. What about your child? You should be trying to rekindle with them as opposed to jumping back into the CIA. And Reed has these memories of his wife, and they done moved completely on. She got a new man, new daddy in the picture. He say they ain't worried about me, they ain't thinking about me, so I'm back. I'm ready to get back to work. Reed says his country needs him. He gives him, a location of where he gonna be staying at and says, this is where I'm at, you know where to find me. Okay, 6 months ago in Germany, Javi is in there torturing 2 men. And Teddy Reed walks in. Reed says that, I guess Reed put Javi up to it because Reed had him torturing the guys to get information out of them. One of them is an Iranian and the other he thinks is a Nazi. Could be not. Back in DC, Reed and his old colleague are still talking. And they're talking about, I guess, them showing us Javi torturing those guys. That was his asset that he, had been in correspondence with as far as, getting the tea, what's going on over there, what's happening in the States, all of that. He's the person that he was still in contact with. So I guess that was the point of them showing us that. But anyway, Reed and his old colleague, they go and they're talking about his visit with Javi and, what's going on overseas, the dealings, with Nicaragua and all of that. They have slowed down tremendously, like I said, what's happening in Los Angeles. And so this kind of leads him to believe that something is wrong in LA because of how Mr. Colleague, boss man, I don't know his name, because of how he's talking. This leads Reed to believe that they really do need his help. They really might need him to get back on. So he practically begs for his job back. He said he want to go back to LA. Reed shows up to Grady's house, and this is when we see when he first got there. They showed us what happened afterwards. You know how they do that. Show us the end game before they show us what led up to that. So we're seeing what led up to that. And this is when he shows up as the city employee. He walking up to the man's house, keying his car before he go inside. I'm like, damn, you that big? It ain't his fault that he got put in your place. Damn, you done keyed his car. Anyway, we see the whole interaction, whatever, from episode 1. And then Reed gets back in his car. He's looking through some pictures. He sees that there was a party, and he notices that because when he was there, one of Thelma and Louise came outside in a robe. So Grady is sleeping with one of the girls. And he looking at the picture like, oh, so that is her. I knew I recognized her. He saw that Franklin showed up with Thelma and Louise. So, he putting the two together. Franklin meets with Grady. And, he asks about the price break again. And Grady says, I'll give it to you, but on one condition, if you let me, have that plane. And first he says if he can have it. And Franklin's like, you want my plane? And he says, nah, just a joyride. So take me on a little ride, please and thank you. And so, of course, Franklin is like, cool, I can do that. I can take you on a little ride. Franklin, takes Grady on the ride, and They're up in the air talking, and Grady is getting Franklin to open up about himself. He's asking about his woman, and is she the one? He said he's been married 4 times. They were all the one. He also has children. Franklin doesn't let on that he and the girl are expecting, but he's just saying, is telling Franklin that he's on the right track. He's proud, I guess. Grady is just, giving him advice on being a father and a husband, all of that. Reed ends up meeting with his boss, and not his boss, but the colleague. He ends up meeting with him and telling him everything he done saw at Grady's house. He says that Grady is a mess. He's using the product. He's skimming the money. He's screwing one of Franklin's girls. Like, it's just all bad over there. Grady done gone rogue. He tells them that we all know how this is going to end unless we do something about it first. And he asks if he can, work with the asset. By asset, he's talking about Franklin. Like, if we put you back in, can you even work with him? And Reed is like, I've only done everything for him. Of course I can work with him. And the guy's like, no, I'm talking about the fact that you killed his daddy. Did y'all hash that out? Or is that going to be a problem? And Reed, of course, is like, I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about. Daddy? I don't know who that is. Anyway, Franklin, he gets home, and girlfriend on the floor. She got calendars out with sticky notes. She's planning everything. Like I said, she's a chakra aligned, sage burning, pray into the universe kind of girl. And so all of the sticky notes are color coordinated, and they all mean something. She's just unnecessarily deep, unnecessarily woke. It's just like, girl, relax. She's one of those, the stars have to be aligned, and on this date, it says that we're going to have a full moon, and on this date, yeah, it was a lot. Franklin just be letting her talk, I guess. But he tells her that he wants her to have equity in the building that they're about to pitch, and she's so grateful that he would do that. Thank you for all that you're doing for me. Franklin is just like, I'm going to do whatever I got to do for you, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to give you the world. Okay, Franklin and the girlfriend take their idea to Uncle Jerome and Auntie Louie, and they tell them, that the feds have been tracking down on the money laundering and all of that overseas, and so they want to pull their money out of Panama legally, of course, and bring it back into the States and invest it into the building that they're about to pitch. They're gonna need $10 million from Auntie Louie and Uncle Jerome, for their little portion, because he want everybody to have a stake in it. And Auntie Louie just looking like, we gonna have to talk about it, because she don't really trust girlfriend. She looking at her sideways. As am I. Just done threw girlfriend in here, and she pregnant. I can handle him having a new girlfriend, but she pregnant too? I didn't get to know her. I didn't get to know her to approve of this. Anyway, when girlfriend leaves, Auntie Louie asks about Rob and Thad. And, he tells her they both out. And by out, you mean they're out. You know what I mean? They're out. Rob was on the pipe. It was a liability. Like, we couldn't do that. They both looking shocked like, you cutthroat, nephew. Yes, he is. Wanda, she back at work, and she gets her check, and it's short, so you already know that's a problem. She goes in there with her boss, gives him a piece of her mind, and he, kind of brushes her off like, it is what it is. This is what your pay is. Just deal with it. We could negotiate a raise if you come over here and suck this. And she comes sit on his lap like, oh, that's all I gotta do. That's all I gotta do. And he has his cocaine in front of him because he's about to do a line, and she knocks it off the table, and of course it's bitch, and she run out like, this job, I quit. And so that's that. Reed pops up on Gustavo, who is dropping his children off to school. And, Reed tells him that Grady is compromised and Reed is back. And he's there to let Grady know that he's out. And Gustavo is like, he is not going to like that. He's having a lot of fun in this role. He's not going to be too happy about you telling him he needs to leave. But okay. Reed says never mind all that. Can I count on you? Can I still count on you to be my mans? And so Gustavo is like, of course you can. He tells him how much fun Grady was to be around, because it seemed like Grady was a bunch of fun, you know, not a tightwad like Reed. Reed is so, he needs to relax. He needs to relax. He needs to go bust one and relax. He's so wound up. I don't know about Reed. Javi. He's meeting with Auntie Louie and Uncle Jerome, you know, about to sell them some guns. And he sees, they see a few that they like, and Javi sees how in love that they are. You know, kind of like what I was saying about their relationship. I just love it, you know, and he notices the same thing. You know, that they're so loving towards one another. They have each other. They're loyal to one another, and it shows, you know, Bonnie and Clyde, if you will. And Jerome is like, they ain't end up too good for them. And he's like, I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying, you got yourself a partner in crime. I'm envious. I understand too, Javi. I'm with you on that. I just love Uncle and Auntie. When they get back in the car, she thanks him. You know, thank you for being with me. You know, thank you for being a rider. I don't never tell you this, but thank you. You know, Javi got me thinking, I don't show you enough appreciation. And I'm here to tell you. And if I didn't tell you thank you enough, I just want to tell you right now. You know, and she just imparting, just pouring into her man like she should, you know, telling him, you a king, don't you ever forget it. You a king. And that's that. Franklin tries to call his mama over there in Cuba, and the service is bad. He can't really get through, and then he does get through, and we kind of hear her cutting in and out. He tries to tell her that they're expecting, and she hears the news because we hear her say, pregnant, you know, and then the call drops. And so, yeah, mama in the wind. Mama is in the wind. Leon, he's been out taking the kids on field trips. That's he's doing, you know, after killing that little girl, he got to absolve himself of his sins. And so he's been volunteering and taking the children to museums and wherever, just to give them a little bit of culture, you know, outside the projects. And Franklin shows up. You know, they sit down and talk, or they go in the house and talk, I guess I should say. And Franklin wants Leon to get in on the deal. You know, I ain't here to tell you what to do with your money, but like, this is a great investment. Leon says, I'm gonna have to pass. Like, no, thank you. You know, Leon is quite old school. He burying his money in the backyard. He putting it in the mattress. You know, he's one of those men. He ain't got no bank account. He ain't doing none of that. You know, and so Franklin, he gonna have to respect it because Leon ain't gonna budge. Leon tells Franklin that he heard about Rob. And, you know, Franklin is like, I had no choice. You know, he was on that pipe. And he's like, he could have got off of it. No. And he also could have been running his mouth, which is why he had to go. He was a liability. Franklin changes the subject to his unborn baby and tells Leon that he's having a baby. Leon is happy for him. You know, you ready to be a dad? You're going to be a dad. You know, it's a happy moment. All smiles. Reed breaks into Grady's house. And he checks him about, you know, this lavish lifestyle that he started to lead since being there. And he tells him he knows about him skimming the money, lining his own pockets. And Grady is just like, that's a drop in the bucket. Like, they done looked the other way this long. Like, I felt like it was all right. It's cool. And then he starts to kind of read, you know, in his life, you know, like, because he's pathetic for being this gung-ho about, you know, jumping back into this job. Like, he's basically being underhanded. It's like he's throwing him under the bus to take his job. Because he's really making it out to be bigger than it is. Like, why are you so invested when you weren't even a part anymore? So why do you even know what his dealings are and where the money is going and what's going on in the war? Why do you even care? You're not in it anymore. Which is what Grady was trying to say. Like, you need a life, nigga. You need a life. But anyway, Reed just tells him, you know, I expect you to be gone in the morning. You can keep the little bit of money that you had saved. You can keep the cars. Yeah. I'm gonna need you to be gone tomorrow. And Grady, you know, while he leaves, he just continues to talk shit. Leon and Wanda, they walking and talking, and she's back on the job hunt. You know, she quit her job, and she mentions getting back, you know, involved with Franklin and cutting the dope for him. And Leon thinks it's a bad idea. I don't think you're ready to be around the cocaine. I think you need to just sit this one out. That's not gonna be the move. I'm gonna need you to find another job. Okay, Grady, he's home, you know, getting in bed, and he takes a sip of some water and then immediately drops the cup. So whatever was in that cup, it was like, bam. Because he dropped the cup, then tried to get up and walk and fell to the floor. He convulsing and choking and coughing and throwing up blood and all of that. It was bad. Okay, so in walks Reed. We already know it was Reed. Reed come walking in there. And I tried to tell you, I tried to be nice. And I just want to let you know, I ain't kill you because you was rude to me. But you really did have to go. Sorry. Reed said, you lost me when you started getting into business, into real estate business with the asset. Now you too close for comfort. We're not going to do that here. We don't do that here. And so Reed had to kill him. It just is what it is. He had to deal with him. Franklin, he's home, and he gets a knock at the door, and it's Reed. You know, Franklin looked like he had seen a ghost. Like, you back? Well, welcome back. They talk, and he lets him inside, and Reed, you know, he loves the new apartment. Love what you done with the place. You done moved on up. I'm proud of you, Franklin. I'm proud of you. You're using your money wisely. I'm proud of you. He said he done heard about him getting his pilot's license and everything. He couldn't be more proud. He gets to the point, you know, he starts talking about Grady, and he's talking about him in the past tense. And Franklin's like, why you keep talking about Grady in the past tense? Because Grady dead, Franklin. Reed says that Grady was only playing a game. You know, he wasn't your friend. I know you felt like y'all was cool, but he was not your friend. And he shouldn't have been making real estate deals and shit like that with you. That was out of order. Reed say he ready to get back to work, and he's ready to pick up where Grady dropped the ball. And so he tells him, you know, a new shipment will be on the way. Sell the property that you got for him, get the cash and bring it to me. And on his way out, Franklin it's like, oh, Grady said that he agreed to 9,000 a key. So you good with that? And Reed says, let's just keep it at 10. Let's just keep it at 10 for now. And yeah, Reed is dead. So just call me Teddy. We're going to call you Teddy Reed over here. And the end. I'm enjoying it, of course. Y'all know Snowfall is one of my favorites. I'm going to have so much fun reviewing it because Franklin Saint is just the best character to review. I just love it. I love his character. I love him. We love Damson. We love Snowfall. But anyway, let's get off of here. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.